I'm back! That's right, everyone. Season 2 of the Piggy Review is finally here! I've got a whole lot planned for you guys this year, and I cannot wait to bring it out to you. A lot has happened in the world of gaming and anime and movies since the last time I saw you. For instance, the Deadpool movie is in production and scheduled for February 2016. A whole lot of new techs come out. Kingdom Hearts 3 is supposed to come out at the end of this year. Supposed to. But I'm not going to hold my breath because, Square Enix with dates. And of course, Naruto's coming to an end this year. Wow, finally! In case you didn't know, I'm not a big fan of Naruto. Shippuden's okay, but Naruto, meh. Well, this is looking to be a good year, and I cannot wait to share it with you all. Anyway, I'm getting a little off topic, as I tend to do, as you probably already know. And let's focus on the here and now. As today, I will be reviewing an anime that came out this year known as Death Parade. Now, before we begin, a little tidbit about this show that I found very interesting is that it released in Japan in January of this year, and the English dub version came out less than 2 months later. This is probably due to it being licensed by Funimation Entertainment, the tyrannical overlords over all English dubbed anime. Well, moving on. It's also brought to us by Madhouse Studios, which has also made very many works over the years, most notably Death Note, which really got me excited to see this series. Now, Death Parade itself is based off a short film from back in 2013 called Death Billiards, which unfortunately I have yet to see, so that will not be a factor in this review. Death Parade answers that age-old question that someone somewhere never bothered to ask. What happens when two people die at the same time? Well, they go to a bar, of course. Because yeah, that's real plausible considering that bars have not always been around. Well, in the show, the bartenders, also known as arbiters, make the recently deceased play a game with their lives on the line. Only thing is, it's a bold-faced, dirty lie. Oh no, you see, when two people die at the same time, they forget about it, and the game is supposed to help them remember, and as they get their memories back, the arbiters judge to see if their souls are worthy of being reincarnated or being sent to a place called the Void. Okay, I have to stop here and ask why. Why this ridiculous plot, and why two people dying? Really, why does it matter if two people die at once? I don't know why this matters. Why don't they just judge one person at a time? What happens if more than two people die at the same time, like 3 or 4? Do they settle it in Smash? Settle it in Smash! I don't know. So far, I'm already not liking the plot to this story, and it's already not looking good. Honestly, I think the plot is stupid and full to the brim with holes. Now, that's not to say the show is bad, per se. It does have some redeeming qualities and nice aspects to it as well, such as the overall feel of the anime and the art style. Look at this. It's brimming with great color and detail. You can tell that the animators put a lot of time and work into this. Well, let's talk a little bit about our characters. First, we have Decim, or as I like to call him, blander than water. And then we have our heroine, let's call her Piggy, because one of the secrets of the show is her name. You won't find it out towards close to the end, so I consider that a spoiler. And as you all know, I like to keep this a spoil-free zone, baby. Yeah! Decim is a bartender at the Limbo bar called Quindecim, which is so original, literally having your name in the bar. Which is ironic considering that he was not the first bartender there. His official title is called a arbiter, and it's his job to analyze the guests' memories and trick them into playing a game that they'll think is going to cause them to lose their life, and see how batshit crazy they go when they start getting their memories back and realize they die. Now, the thing is, I actually think that it's kind of genius seeing how people react in these extreme situations. It kind of reminds me of the Saw movies in a way. It's great to see how people react to these extreme situations and judging them based off their reactions. It's quite an interesting way to see how people truly are, and when push comes to shove, what their decisions will be. Although that's not the only goal of these games. It's also to help the people remember how they died, and see how they react to that as well. Again, an interesting idea, although a lot of the suspense or shock of it all is really lost after the first episode. Granted, there are a couple more great episodes where the drama and reveals of the guests' memories keep you at the end of your seat, wondering how are they going to be judged. For instance, let's talk about the first episode's guests, a newlywed couple who died on their honeymoon. It was a great thrill just to see the circumstances of their death, and to see the reactions while they're playing this twisted game of death darts, where whenever they hit the board, it hurt the other person. One of the great reveals was the husband finds out on the wedding day that his wife was unfaithful to him at one point or another, and he was trying to figure out whether or not she did it, which led to the circumstances of both their deaths. Also, he finds out that his wife was pregnant. He ends up going crazy after finding out that it was actually true. It was all true. She did cheat on him. And there was a possibility that the baby was not his. And I should probably stop there before I spoil everything in the whole episode to you. Again, spoiler-free zone. Oh yeah, there's another main character, isn't there? Well, what's there really to say about old Pinky there? Except she's a cliche character that's supposed to represent the audience. She's a bland goth chick that shows Decim a new way of thinking and helping him out with his judgments along the way, while at the same time having amnesia and not remembering who she is or how she got to Quindecim. We have seen this character type quite a few times over the years, and it's really boring, especially since she has no personality and we know very little about her the whole series, except for maybe the last few episodes. Which I'd be fine with that if they would have given her more of a personality, like show us some of the things she likes and dislikes. But no, she's just there for no explicit reason. Honestly, all the repeating characters are what hold this show down. They are boring, they're cliches. You barely get to see them, and you have barely any time to identify with them. Besides their tropes, of course. For example, look at this guy. He is every rival character we have seen before. Or this no-nonsense lollyboss who's secretly experimenting with the current system, who seems to know everything. We have the girl who drinks too much, the scary old guy grandpa character. All character tropes we have seen, rehashed over the years. They are not fleshed out, and they just seem to be there to fill in the time gaps in between the guests' stories, which are flushed out. The guest characters seem like real people that you can identify with. The others just seem blah. Now, where the show really shines is its non-repeating characters, the guests. Their reactions to the games, their reactions to their memories coming back, their reactions to how they die, they all vary. And some can be thrilling, some can be crazy, some can be tear-jerking. These characters you can actually identify with. You understand these characters. You can actually put yourself in their shoes and understand their reactions to how they are acting. These are what true characters should be like, and these are what the main characters should have been like. But unfortunately, no, they weren't. I should also mention, while all these judgments are going on, Decim's supervisor, fuck it, let's call her Lollyboss, is trying to change the system using Decim and Pinky as test subjects. And you know what? outside the two main characters, Decim and Pinky, you're not gonna give a shit about any of the other side characters in this show, or even the side story, or the story going on in the background. It's boring, it just seems unnecessary, and lazy at that. I did not like it one bit. Going in, I had really high hopes for the show. The plot, while full of holes, was at least an interesting idea, but it really loses focus, and honestly, I would have been happy not seeing most of the side characters, and just having Decim and Pinky the whole time. Or you know what would be even better? How about actually having an outcome to the games, actually having an outcome to the judgments? Or how about where one goes to the void and one reincarnated? Because that could have set up even greater drama and stories. Because it could have kept the audience guessing who was the one who was going to go to the void and who was going to be reincarnated. But no, instead there's the cop-out where there is the option that both can go reincarnated or both can go to the void. All in all, I'm glad I watched Death Parade. It was at least somewhat entertaining. Being from the same people who brought us Death Note, I expected a lot, and the payoff was just not as high as desired. Sure, it was entertaining and such, but it ruins it with anime cliches that for some reason have to be in almost every anime nowadays. If the creators would have just got rid of most of the side cast and replaced them with some genuine, fleshed out characters with personalities and that were identifiable with, then maybe this show could have been an amazing treasure, but I feel Death Parade is just fated for the void. For Season 2, I'm introducing a new segment of my reviews called The Final Rating, where I rate individual aspects of a show and then give it overall rating out of 10. The individual aspects, the main ones at least, will be characters, plot, art style, and character development. Now, in the future episodes, there will be other sections like fan service for ecchi anime or romance, or other stuff such as that, maybe even action. But that's going to be genre specific for each episode or each show I review. Now, let's get on to rating this episode, shall we? Characters. The main cast of the show was pretty boring and interesting. The only characters I liked at all were the old man and Decim, and that's barely liking them. However, this show's non-repeating characters were what made the show great. Just seeing the deep emotion of the people find out how they died, and seeing their lives was very moving and sometimes even thrilling. So, for characters, it gets a 6 out of 10, but only for the plot. Although Death Parade had a interesting concept and idea, there was nowhere really to go with that, and you could very much tell the plot felt very unnecessary and boring at times, and just downright lazy even. It was just thrown at you in the last couple episodes and felt very rushed. Now maybe if the show had been longer than 12 episodes, and had been given more time to develop the overall story, it could have been maybe a lot better, but it didn't. And that's why it gets a 3 out of 10 for story, and that's being generous. Art style. Yeah, another aspect of the show that's its saving grace is its art style. Very thrilling, yet with a sophisticated feel and very good attention to the smallest details with the environments. Though I feel the characters could have been a little bit better, but I think that's just a nitpick on my part. So Death Parade gets a 9 out of 10 for the art style. Character development. For this one, I'm not going to include the non-repeats, just the main cast. And no. Just no! The only character that developed at all was Decim. And even that felt very tiny. I guess you could make a case that Pinky developed a little bit towards the end, but we never were really given a character at all, so anything was an improvement on her. The main cast never felt like they had changed at all, and never really grew out and stayed the same throughout the whole series. 2 out of 10 for character development, I say. As much as I've downed this anime, I will say it did at least keep me entertained. And that's all you can really ask from an anime or any form of media in general. Was it flawed? Yes. Is it forgetful and probably forgotten in time? Yes. But I think it was worth the watch. And I suggest you take a watch too. The overall rating for Death Parade is a 6 out of 10. It's flawed, it's not that good, but it is at least worth the watch. And hey, it's only 12 episodes. You can watch that in an afternoon. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I know it took a while for this to get done. As you know, I had a lot of computer issues, and then it was just with my work, and it just got really hectic trying to make this review and just picking an animated review to begin with, because so many have come out, and I really hope to do more soon. I'm probably going to be doing the next review in about 2 weeks. It's going to be another anime. I think I'm going to switch off from the game reviews for the show. Instead, I'm going to just do Let's Plays or Twitch plays, which I will be soon trying to schedule and get that all arranged. Anyway, if you like this video, please hit the subscribe button or the like button, or check out some of my other videos on my channel. And if you want to, come find me on Twitter at the Piggy Review or the Piggy Review Facebook page. And as always, stay awesome, guys.